Hey, everybody, welcome to Bearded Baker Banter. It's the sports podcast. We are in episode 89.
Crazy.
Welcome, Trent, and welcome, Trey.
How's it going, fellas?
We are, well, I don't know, I'm not speaking for Trent here, but I'm peachy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just peachy.
Any particular reason or just,
No.
Shouldn't be with that hat on that you got there.
Ooh. Wow.
All right.
Sorry. Guns a-blazing right from the
Yeah,
start.
geez, right away.
I guess, hey, what do you think, Trey? LimeWire.
Mm.
Napster
It's a
the other week.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Just collecting them all here.
Next week, you got to wear a YouTube to MP3 converter.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was the one. That's one. Yeah.
Hey, I also considered Bear Share. Remember that was the thing at one point?
Okay.
But that one never worked for me. I don't know why.
I wonder.
But hey, we're in a sports podcast, so let's talk about some football because we got a lot of big games this week, both NFL wise, both college football wise. We're going to start in the college football land of the world. That's where we started the last couple of weeks. So let's jump into it because last week was quite a week for college football. I know, Trent, you mentioned there's a lot more teams. I'm just going to at least go from the top 11. Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, Michigan, USC, all lost. So let's just shake up the college world, the college playoff, even more with a whole bunch of things going on. But
And round that top 25 off with a Louisville getting knocked off, who's ranked 22nd or was. And then you got UNLV ranked 25. It's the most in a single weekend of top 25 teams losing since 2018. So
that's good.
I'm gonna put this out there because couple things. I don't know if any of you heard Matt Rule's interview today about why it's not going to be as uncommon to see a Vanderbilt knock off, like a big name team or smaller, not that they're small schools, but not as powerful programs starting to catch up. And I think this is where I think like in college basketball, the benefit of NIL is coming into play. You're now seeing guys where some schools might not be able to get that key figure, like that key, top recruit normally, but now with NIL, they might be able to sit there and say, well, we could get this stud right now, pay him a ton of money and at least get him here, because if we get one, there's always a chance we could get a couple other, pretty good recruits. Whereas, the schools that usually get them, they're going to still get the top guys, but they're going to even out their pay. We get guys no matter what, so we might not have to pay you as much. So now you got these kids sat there and say, okay, do I go to this major time program and make, 10,000 however a month, where I could go over here and I can make 25 to 30,000, maybe 50,000, like, you know what I mean? So I think this is like, I know people are very against it. I know we said how disorganized it is and how ugly it's going to get with no control over it. But I also think this is where it's a good thing. We literally saw Vanderbilt knock off Alabama. Who the hell would have thought that was going to happen? But don't forget, a lot of hate on Dubauer this weekend. Is that how you pronounce his name?
DeBauer.
Okay. Yeah. But don't forget, Nick Saban did lose to UL Monroe, right?
Yes, that is true.
I know it was early in his time, but this is also his first year at Alabama. So,
and they also came off probably one of the biggest wins, at least in his history. But not even just the fact that Alabama, because Alabama has a lot of big wins over the years.
Yeah.
But for him, to kind of knock off Kirby Smart in Georgia, I think that was a big win. So to come into the next week, then it was like, maybe a little unprepared. I don't know.
Hangover game. They call it.
Yeah.
So, so a lot of big games. Trey, anything you want to recap on?
No, just that. I mean, it's funny because this coming weekend, as in Saturday, or specifically Saturday, was known as like the big college football weekend. And honestly, last week it's gonna be hard to beat last weekend with all those upsets and stuff. And
Yeah.
for me to say, I know my team kind of snuck by and didn't suffer one of the losses, but yeah, it was just crazy all around to see that many top 15, top 25 teams lose, and just how it gets reshuffled. The one thing that really surprised me was USC dropping out of the top
completely out of the top 25,
like 13 or something.
Yeah,
and then they lose to Minnesota, right? And for in divisional game, and they just dropped them out of the top 25. So I don't know. As a Penn State fan, that kind of angers me because that would have been a top 25 win potentially for us next weekend. But
yeah,
I don't know, just a weird little thing that I noticed.
But it is interesting too, especially too the fact that Michigan also dropped one, and they are 23, I believe, 24.
Right.
So
well, they dropped 2 games.
So did USC. So USC has 2.
Okay.
So USC has 2 losses. Michigan has 2 losses. Just interesting to see. I mean, the dynamic, especially this week. I know we talked about it a little bit last week too, but Penn State playing USC this week. Penn State's got to travel out to USC,
right.
And I think it's not going to be an easy place to play. So
no.
that'll be, they're going to have a vengeance. They're going to be looking for a win, obviously. So Penn State better bring their A game, but we'll see. We'll get into that stuff when we get into that. When we're looking at some games here coming up in the future. But so yeah, Alabama, Tennessee, Missouri, Michigan, USC, Trent, you said UNLV at Louisville. It'll be interesting. We'll see. There's some new teams that are jumped back in the top 25 here. I know Texas A&M jumped pretty high up after they suffered a loss or 2 earlier in the year, but they looked pretty dominant against Missouri, which kind of made me wonder, like Missouri getting crushed the way that they did was a very big surprise. So we'll see what happens.
Helps Notre Dame a lot. Darn it.
Yeah, it does.
Sucks.
Yes, it does.
Well, I would say these are. It's kind of interesting. Is after this past weekend, you're now down to only 12 undefeated teams in the FBS. Army and Navy.
There you go.
That's hit. Cool. Iowa State, BYU, Miami somehow with these past 2 weeks. Indiana, which Sig Signetti, right? JMU coach, also former IUP head coach.
Wow.
Good state of Pennsylvania. A lot of people don't know that. Texas, shout out Fast Breaks, right? And then Ohio State and Oregon, which they got a matchup coming up this weekend. And then Liberty, who's hanging on this Tuesday night right now. And then Penn State. So those are your remaining 12. Can I ask you guys a question? Like for is out of this week, obviously
Ohio
one of the
State or
Oregon or Ohio State. I was going to say besides those 2, anybody that you see probably being the next team to drop one. I don't know if.
All right. I mean, I know Trey, you won't want to hear it. I think Penn State loses to USC this week. I think traveling across the state. I think having Penn State at number 4. I haven't talked to a single person. I'm sure Trey, you would probably agree with this, that believes that Penn State is the number 4 best team in the country. Sure, they're undefeated. Sure, they have won games, but I don't think they're the number 4 best team. I feel like they've limped through most of their games besides maybe Kent State. So I think Penn State will drop one this week. Like you said,
you'll be about it.
Gosh, I hate betting in USC.
Means you got to go spread or money line.
No, money. He thinks that USC is going to win.
Let me think on it here as we're kind of talking. But yeah, that's the team that I think might drop one. And honestly, most of it's just because they have to literally travel across the country. And I think USC losing last week is going to piss them off. And I think that James Franklin, is that wine?
Yeah, I'm a well-rounded individual.
Wow.
Just drink another Canada Dry Cranberry. But
is that a Cab Sauv, Trent?
Actually, it's a Merlot.
Okay.
Robert Mondavi. Not too top shelf, just mediocre.
So yeah, okay.
That was good. But yeah, that's the team I think. Trey, who do you think is dropping this week?
Phew. I'd have to hear all of them again.
Well,
And
teams that I think
just
play.
games, like any upsets.
I mean,
This
I know
coming week. Go ahead, Trent.
Well, BYU definitely plays this week. I believe Navy's on a bye. Pitt plays this week. Penn State, we know. Iowa State does have a road game.
Right.
And then Army. Army is 26-point favorites.
So maybe not this week. Obviously, I know I think Oregon will lose, but one of those teams will lose. But the next one to lose, I'd say, would be Army if I had to pick.
Wow.
The other team to keep an eye on with at least from the undefeated standpoint this week is going to be Pitt. Pitt's kind of surprised me. I know they moved up to 22, but they do face Cal. Cal last week playing against Miami. I know they blew it. They were tougher than I thought. I think Pitt will have their hands a little bit full this week.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Well, they're not on that game.
I was gonna say I don't know if Cal's ever going to have that type of environment again. Like,
right.
First of all, I'm a little surprised that game day went out there.
Yeah. Well, it was their first time ever, right?
Yeah. And it's just kind of like, okay, cool. But I don't know. Pitt might be a real deal. Like, they're pretty tough in the ACC.
I'm not saying they're not the real deal. I just think that they might be a team to slip up facing the Cal team that has shown some toughness.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting.
Well, we might get an answer here by tomorrow, or I don't know when we're allowed to say when we're recording, but
we're recording. We now record Tuesdays, but we air the show on Wednesdays.
I was going to say we might see an answer here to what team might lose here first. Liberty might be dropping this one.
Almighty.
Jeez.
Kind of hope they go for 2 here. I don't want to see overtime. It's going to hurt my bet. Yeah, I know it is.
Such is life, right? Such is life. Jeez.
But yeah, so you also have the Red River rivalry this week, Texas, Oklahoma. I don't think that's going to be as good of a game as people think that it might be. I think Texas will probably run away with it a little bit.
I hope.
That's just my opinion. I think Oklahoma's an okay team. See what I did there? Okay. But I don't think they're as good as the ranking. I know I mentioned that Hawkins at quarterback, but I still think, Texas is head and shoulders above a team like Oklahoma. So, but there is a lot, though. We talked Penn State, USC. We talked about Pitt, Texas, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, LSU. I think is going to be a good one. Unlike I've talked about Ole Miss struggling, last 2 weeks with teams possibly. I was pretty wrong last week. I'm not going to lie with them struggling, but I think Ole Miss might blow the doors off LSU here.
Really?
Yeah. This is the time that I am not a Brian Kelly fan. I think that the only reason they have any success is because he does still get a lot of talent there. I think Ole Miss is a better football team. I think Jackson Dart's a better quarterback. And I think that Lane Kiffin's a better coach than Brian Kelly. So I think that Ole Miss may run away with this one pretty quickly, too, to a point where you actually might see a Brian Kelly temper tantrum, maybe mid-game. We'll see.
Just not like one of those awkward 360 cameras with one of his recruits.
I still I can't. It hurts me to watch it. Like, it makes me want to throw up. Like it is so awkward.
Yeah.
I hate when the video resurfaces because I'm like, what the hell was he thinking?
Yeah.
It's the weirdest shit ever. Like, what were you doing?
He's an old guy. He's trying to act cool. What
creepy, man. It was creepy.
He's too.
What would be worse is if you get like a Brian Kelly blow up? Is he going to do it in his southern accent? That's the real question.
I thought you said getting a Brian Kelly blow up. I'm like, what?
That's what I thought you said too, like a blow up.
You heard that? Yeah. I'm like, why do you have that, Trent?
No, like you said, he's going to have like a anger, like an eruption.
Okay, like blow. Okay, I thought you meant like a Brian Kelly blow up doll. I'm like, why would you have that?
Yeah, no. Weirdos.
Weirdo. Hey, real quick before we get into other games here, and I'll let you guys kind of talk some. but tennis, obviously excited for a Tennessee-Florida game. It's in Knoxville. Florida's a better team than their record shows.
Are they though?
They're not. I don't think they're. I'm not saying that they're. Oh my gosh, it's Florida. First off, it's a rivalry game. All right, but second off, it's always just a battle all the time. Now, I do like the fact that it is in Knoxville. That game scares the crap out of me after watching Tennessee completely stall last week and look like hot garbage against Ole Miss. But that being said, I would like to quickly just do a shout out. Last 2 weeks here, I've had on some Tennessee Volunteers hats. So I would like to give a shout out to Bad Day Hat Company, based out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Also had this Vols hat. And if you don't get a chance to, you should really check them out on Twitter. Check them out on X. Bad Day Hat Company. They're actually doing a promotion right now for the hurricane victims to donate money after Hurricane Helene. So check them out. I think all proceeds that he's donating to it. So it's pretty cool company there. But I'd like to shout out Bad Day Hat Company. So
good cause and some even better hats.
Oh man, dude, there's some sweet ass hats, dude. It's Tennessee ones, and they always do giveaways and stuff, and it's pretty cool. They're really awesome. They're badass. But yeah, so that's just my quick shout out. But Tennessee does win this week. I will say that against Florida.
Okay.
Do they cover?
I didn't see the line yet.
15.5.
I think it's 14.5. I think I saw 14.5.
I'm going to give it a week to pick the Tennessee cover. I'll take them to win. I picked them to cover last week, and again, they looked like hot garbage and couldn't score. So I'm not taking a Tennessee spread this week until they can show me that their offense is okay and not on life support.
Yeah.
Oh. Uh-oh.
It's fine. You can cat me all you want.
I can't call him you.
Cat me all you want there, sir. But I'm not.
We going picks real quick or what?
We could do some college football picks here.
All right.
There is a lot we got to get to for NFL. Do you guys want to do a best bet here for Wednesday, Thursday?
I just have my general best bets.
Let's put them in the recipe there, sir.
Okay. All right. I'll let you guys go first.
All right. So my first game that I'm looking at, because I think the bags are packed. They're gonna let this coach rock all the way to the end of the year, but he will be out of there. I like Georgia Tech taking out Carolina pretty big at North Carolina. So Georgia Tech -6.
Is that what they are? -6.
Yeah. Georgia Tech -6.
Take that, because I feel like at one point I saw it was like 9.
Yeah. So Georgia Tech -6, -108. I kind of already said, I don't know, it might be a little. I know sometimes a hangover game is after you win a big game, but I also think this is somewhat of like they're just depleted. The wind is out of their sails, and I got Pitt money line. Pitt money line versus Cal.
That's why you challenged me.
Yes. Iowa State. I think Iowa State is a pretty good football team this year. I really do. I know their offense isn't the most exciting thing, but I like them at West Virginia -3.
Okay.
Once again, West Virginia is a team where I don't think they're that good. And then I got Syracuse -4.5 at NC State, because I believe they're going to have to play with that backup quarterback. I will go out and say that I will never bet on NC State again. So I'll bet against them though. And I think Syracuse has something cooking that's pretty nice up there. That's a brand new coach who got some of his guys, and a freshman on his name, the quarterback that transferred from Ohio State, that's up there.
Okay.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
McCord, Kyle McCord.
Cord, that's it.
McCord.
He's the starter up there. He's actually, I think he almost looks like he's having fun again. Like when I see him play, I've watched them a little bit this past weekend. He just, I don't know, it just looks different than the pressure of Ohio State or the pressure of Ryan Day sitting there. And, don't get me wrong, Ryan Day's a good coach, but it's pretty intense and probably was putting a lot of pressure with the talent that he had up there to throw to. And then last but not least, and I would like to propose this to you guys, is I am willing, because I know both of you are against on this, I'm willing to take Oregon plus 3.5 at home versus Ohio State for a beer bet.
I see 3 everywhere, but I'd take 3. I'll take Ohio State minus 3.
Well, so minus 3.5 or plus 3.5 yesterday.
I'd take 3. 3.5 is the line I hate.
Yeah,
that's 3.5 and 7.5. I hate those lines.
Oh, fine. You know what? I'll meet you there, and I'll go 3.
Three's a push. Three's a push.
Yeah, three's a push. That's fine.
All right.
We all just chug beers.
It's fine, kitty cats.
Well, that leads me into mine because Ohio State minus 3 was one of my picks that I'm going to take. Not necessarily my best bet for college football. My best bet is going to be Minnesota. I actually see minus 5.5, not just 6 right now too. So I'm going to take 5.5 as well. I think they're hot coming off that, and UCLA is just hot garbage, as we've established even last week. We talked about.
That hot garbage is the saying tonight, guys.
Did someone else say that? Is that what I was in my head?
Tyler said hot garbage earlier. I'm like,
I didn't know why it just came natural to me because I usually don't say that, so that makes sense. But man,
they're hot garbage right now.
Another bet that I really like is Kansas State minus 4 against Colorado. I think they're just a better team overall. Ooh. I think Colorado relies on just miracle big plays. They're just not consistent enough for me. So I like. They always seem
to make some sort of weird comeback though at the end.
And I think that eventually it's going to have to. The act's going to even out. So I think Kansas State handles them pretty well. So I'm taking them minus 4. And then I had one more. I lost it. Oh, Oklahoma plus 14. I think Quinn Ewers coming back after being out for a couple weeks isn't necessarily going to benefit Texas. And I think that they might struggle, if not lose, the Red River rivalry. That's tough to say.
Yes, it is.
Super hard.
But I think that is going to be a lot closer than 14 points. And Texas might develop themselves a little quarterback controversy down there. That's my little.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah, I think so. So I'm taking Oklahoma plus 14, Kansas State minus 4, Minnesota minus 5.5, and Ohio State minus 3.
Trade lower that to minus 5 for Minnesota right now.
Okay, even better.
Minus
even better.
5.
I love it.
I too will take 2 of those. I like that Kansas State one too.
All right. So
not gonna lie, anytime you give me a chance to cheer against Colorado, I'm gonna do it. So
yeah.
I'm just
It's a hater.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool he's brought attention to there, but makes it more about himself than the actual kids sometimes I get. But
so I got quite a few bets here. 3 of the first bets, what I tried to do, I always like to have some sort of skin in the game each night of the week. Anytime there's one football game on, I'm gonna have some sort of bet on it. Just for fun, But so my best bet for Wednesday, New Mexico State, Jacksonville State. I'm going under 59. Right now it's minus 112. I might move that line a hair, maybe a point or 2 up just to secure myself. I have been finding some success with some of these alternate totals, but it always is so damn close that I usually bump it a point or 2 just to kind of give myself a little reinforcement. But right now, under 59, New Mexico State, Jacksonville State, JMU against Coastal Carolina on Thursday night. I'm going against my gut, or not my gut, but against one of the teams I started with betting earlier in the year. I'm going JMU minus 9.5. Maryland Northwestern is on Friday, so I have a Friday game here. Taking Maryland -10 against Northwestern. It's at College Park. We got going Washington +2.5 against Iowa. Slowly getting on the Iowa train a little bit.
Washington.
You mean Washington?
The Washington train again. Because I told you I did bet Washington money line last week against Michigan, which ended up hitting. I actually used my boost on that. DraftKings offered a boost, so I boosted that and got some pretty decent money on that. Rutgers money line against Wisconsin. Georgia Tech. I think Trent, you had mentioned that. I like Georgia Tech -6. I am taking. Sorry, Trey. USC +5. Taking BYU -5 against Arizona. Tennessee, Florida game. I'm going to go over 55.5 points. I think Tennessee does get their offense back, figures it out. I think they start to roll.
Have they had their offense all year? Because I feel like they're a defensive team
now. They're both.
They were scoring over. Yeah, they were scoring over 40, 50 points a game.
Okay.
The first two or three games. Now it was early, but still.
Yeah.
I'm going Ole Miss money line against LSU. Not the greatest odds. I just don't like the line. And then I'm going for sake of beer bet, Ohio State -3.
That's right.
So that's where I'm at. So Trey, I'll take the spread with the Penn State game. 5.
-5. Yeah, I'll take that. Why not?
Right.
All right. So I got USC +5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyler, dealing with the beer bets out there. I like it.
Yeah.
Let's get to the pros.
Haven't had a beer in almost 5 weeks. So
yeah.
Is this the weekend?
Ditching.
I might have one here. We'll see.
Why are you so anti-beer now, man? You're like you
I'm
lose a little.
I'm not anti-beer. I'm trying to let my body heal from the surgery still. So
come on, alcohol kills germs. No, I'm just kidding.
These guys, peer pressure. But yeah, so that's my bets there for college football. But
I like it. Let's go. I love college football Saturdays more than anything right now.
So exciting. I will say right now, I'm really, really angry at the fact that this Liberty game is going to overtime.
I know. Gosh.
Liberty's going to score a touchdown and it's going to be over. You watch.
Right now it's 48, and I took the alternate of 59. So
you're all right.
Really hate that, but
yeah.
Gosh, overtime. It's just like college basketball. It's like when the dogs go to die. Remember what we said?
That is true.
Yeah.
So I would like to start our NFL with
breaking news.
I know.
Is that where you're going?
Oh, actually I wasn't, but yeah, let's hit that. Let's hit the breaking news.
Obviously the breaking news of the week.
Which I guess Trey, go ahead. Time is yours.
Yeah, Jets head coach Robert Saleh getting relieved of his duties 5 weeks into the NFL. And I can sense the smugness.
Smugness.
But what I don't understand is that this is exactly what I said should happen.
Oh, come on, dude.
Because you were pushing for him to be fired last year.
Yeah, and look, they would be in a better spot if they would have.
I disagree with that.
Now they're interim coached.
So anyway, as I was saying,
you were sorry. What'd you say?
No, I'm not sorry because I predicted and said this is exactly how it should play out. Last year,
act like you predicted this. I called for his head. I said it'd be gone the first 5 games this year, and you guys were like,
"You called for his head last year. You called for his head last year. How'd that go?" I said, "No, they're not going to fire him because
his head's on his way back to San Francisco."
What I was saying.
I pray to God it is.
Hold on. Let me clear the air.
I hope his body comes too, though. Not just his head.
Yeah, sorry. I like Robert Saleh as a man, but not a coach.
Trying to sit here and take credit for saying he predicted this, but this is exactly what I said. I said last year you can't fire him because it's not justified. He had no quarterback. He's playing with Zach Wilson and what's his name? Tim Boyle, Trevor Siemian. And so what happened is they didn't lose any players, they didn't really gain any players, and you had Aaron Rodgers come back. And I said, now if he doesn't perform, then it's justified. You have a reason to fire him, and that's okay with me. And I think I said week 2, man, the Jets don't look like they should with Aaron Rodgers back. Robert Saleh better watch out. So no, I'm not apologizing, because I think if anything, I was actually more correct. So
all right, well, I'm just preparing you guys. Here's the deal: Jets are in a rebuild, correct?
No.
Soon they're going to be. So plot twist: Jets say we're rebuilding. Aaron Rodgers traded to the Raiders for a 5th-round pick. Devontae stays. QB problem solved. Raiders make the playoffs.
No way.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Wishful thinking.
Not a chance.
Not really. I actually don't want it. I want Devontae gone.
I think there's more of a chance of Bill Belichick coaching the Jets.
Yes, I did see that. It's kind of sad, though, because I think the Giants are going to lose their guy. I think the Giants were going to make their push for Belichick, depending on how this year went. But
where did he?
No,
he was with the Browns, right?
Browns. He coached the
Jets.
He coached the Jets with Bill Parcells.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say was one of those teams he was with.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he went to the Giants too. I thought, or maybe he was gonna become the Giants. I forget. Anyway, but
he did coach the Giants.
I think the problem is I think I messaged this to you guys during Sunday. I don't think Rodgers is the caliber anymore. Like don't get me wrong, he still has some arm talent there, but it reminds me right now of watching him in his last year with Green Bay.
I mean, Robert Saleh didn't throw interceptions last week.
Yeah, I mean, he threw 3. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. And now you have Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, and you could say whatever you want, but he's got more talent right now at receiver than what the Packers had in terms of when in his last year. So, I mean, I know the guy, you can't take away. I'm not like, he's not a bad quarterback, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's going to put a team on his complete back, throw for 300 some yards, 4 touch. I just don't see it. And granted, he's kind of in a system where you think, when these older quarterbacks get up there, like a Peyton Manning, and somewhat of a Tom Brady in his stretch, was like you had to just make the normal plays and then allow an incredible defense carry you, right? And he's in that situation, but I just don't right now. I mean, it's part why Saleh's gone. Defense doesn't look that dominant. Not saying they're bad defense, but they didn't look dominant. And then you're 2-3 when you shouldn't be 2-3. Like, let's be real. Like, with the roster you have, you should be at least above 500.
It's the first time Woody Johnson's ever fired a coach in season, which I thought was interesting too, as his tenure of the team. But I don't know if you saw the reports too that he actually had to be escorted out by security. It didn't sound like a good situation. I know Trent, you said you called and everything. Like, I think 5 weeks in, I think it's a little early, man. I think you might have jumped the gun a little bit, especially coming off of the London game where you're playing a team that was undefeated. Whether you like them or not. I think that was interesting. Just the timing of everything was very, very interesting. Wow, that was a crazy blitz.
Yeah,
we hit. Whew. All right, good. 2-1.
Anyway, I
you know what I mean. 5 weeks. Like, I just, I don't agree, man.
I don't agree with it's too early. I actually think it's too late. This should have been done going into the year.
I disagree with that. So Tyler, I kind of agree with in a way. Granted, the Jets have high expectations in New York. You went and got Rodgers for a reason. So 2-3, it's probably inexcusable, and that's why Woody Johnson made the decision to do what he did. But that being said, we're acting like the Jets are this failure with Rodgers, and 5 weeks into the season, sure they are. But like we said, like, it's 5. We're not even a third of the way through it. Like, they could go on a 7-game run and go 9-3. Like,
right.
And once they figure it out, then maybe they might. But I don't know. sure he didn't perform, and they have expectations, especially in New York with that quarterback and that team. So I get it, but yeah, I agree. A lot of people are saying it was a desperation move, way too early. Give him a chance to build some like rhythm and momentum for the season. Like, but
somewhat, man.
Dude, Jets haven't had a coach with an above 500 record overall since 2001. Like, I was 11.
Yeah.
Like,
It's been a while.
The ones that is the closest is Herm Edwards. He was 39-41. Like, that's just pretty great. Like, Jets football is.
It's been a struggle.
Yeah. I mean, they had, 2 years with Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan. They made AFC championships. So, but
it's tough. It's like, where do you go, though? Because now you're in the situation.
Belichick.
Well, I understand, but I'm saying
Rodgers won't mix with him.
That's kind of my point. Is you have a lot of young talent around him. Is Rodgers done after this year? Do they tank for the rest of the year and try to get a high draft pick for a quarterback, or do they go, where do they go? That's what I mean. I just don't think that they have a direction. That's what I'm saying. I don't think they have a direction right now. And that's
they need a rebuild though. Like, they have a lot of good players in reasonable contracts. Like, it'd be stupid to throw everything you have away just because one quarterback didn't work out 5 games into the season. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
So can I kind of transition though to a awesome like reality now? Is like, let's see, Devontae Adams demands a trade. Right. And I want to go to the Jets or the Saints. Oh, well, look at the Jets now. Like, does that look that pretty up there right now?
Right.
Okay. Oh, and now Derek Carr's out multiple weeks. You're gonna have Spencer Rattler throwing you the ball.
I think the Jets
when right now Olave's targeted 2 to 3 total times a game right now, and he's your best receiver. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Saints aren't it. Like, this guy, I hope the Raiders make him sit there all freaking year, get fined for holding out once he's cleared medically, and waste the rest of his career away.
That's what Randy Moss did.
Yeah. No, Randy Moss went on to go to friggin' Patriots, Tyler.
I know. No, I'm saying
set records. The rest of his year. So I'm just saying
you kind of hinted on it, but I wanted to bring this up and get some opinions. Tyler, you might finally get what you wanted to see. Spencer Rattler.
Yes, that's why I put my hand up when Trent said the Saints with Spencer Rattler. I was like, hey, I called that earlier in the season.
If that happens, man, I'll give you props because you're the only one that I know that has ever had any belief in him
But he's only doing it because Derek Carr's injured. Like,
let's see what happens, though.
Okay. How did Tom Brady get a start?
I give you more credit for what was the guy's name last year for the Broncos? He was Stidham. I give you more credit for that one because that was just like a freak scenario. But it
was awful.
It was a fluke. I knew.
Yeah,
it was a fluke because they ended up. Russell Wilson had that weird contract stipulation where, like, if he got hurt, he got like so much guaranteed money, and they were like, "Yeah, we're just not going to risk playing you." But, yeah, I mean, it is kind of funny.
That'd be 2 years in a row, though, that I made a pretty bold pick for a quarterback, and it happens.
I didn't think that kid looked bad that came in. I didn't think he looked bad.
Yeah, I don't think he looked good.
I think Derek Carr looked good.
I agree. I think the Saints, they won their first 2. People were like, oh my gosh, look at the Saints.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on? Now, keep in mind, though, we also talked in the beginning of the year in our NFL episode about Dennis Allen not being the answer.
Yeah.
And everybody was hailing him. Oh, man. I can't even think of what the heck.
You know what he is, Ty? You know what he is? Some hot garbage.
He's hot garbage. I can't even think of the guy's name right now. The offensive coordinator. Yes. Kubiak. Remember we even talked about that. We're like, man, maybe they are the real deal.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what. Won the first 2, dropped the last 3. I am not a believer in the Saints. They look terrible. And I'm not. Okay, it's the Chiefs. I also don't think the Chiefs. I don't want to say it because everybody said it last year. Oh, the Chiefs. No, I'm not saying it.
Go ahead.
Chiefs weren't that good last year, and they won the Super Bowl.
They weren't.
They weren't, and they won the Super Bowl. And I don't think they're that good this year, but they're 5-0.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't explain that shit.
And
what?
Their quarterback is the top MVP candidate. You seen his numbers?
Mahomes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
1,200 passing yards, ranked 22nd. 6 passing touchdowns, tied 12th.
Somebody asked.
6 interceptions. And
he's leading the MVP right now.
He's QBR, Trey, you love that, 55.8. And he's the leading MVP candidate.
Which is such bullshit, because if you truly make an MVP because the guys were better, I mean, we all agree that MVP is a quarterback award.
Should be Justin Jefferson, in my opinion. Or Sam Darnold. Jeez,
at this
QB award.
This point in time, yeah, it could be Sam Darnold. Could also be Jaden Daniels.
Ooh,
from Washington.
You're so up. I got all my stats saved here.
But I'm saying, like, let's. I mean, if you really want to be honest, if you're going to look at stats and not just pick a guy for a popularity contest, it should be one of those other guys. It shouldn't be Mahomes, because what I was going to say, somebody asked me the other day, well, who would your MVP be? This year, like, oh man, it should be Jaden Daniels. And I said, you're right, but I said, just watch. I said, somehow, regardless, you're either going to see Mahomes up there or Lamar Jackson, regardless of how well they play. Josh Allen will get the MVP.
Yes, he will. He'll get. They got to keep him relevant. Besides getting knocked out and concussed, and then he's allowed back in the game.
Yeah, no. You know who else never had an MVP award that was always still relevant?
Jeff Hostetler.
No, talking is still.
Oh, sorry.
Joe Flacco.
No, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson doesn't have a single MVP award.
You would think he deserves one, but I do. I think 2 guys that I would give it to over Patrick Mahomes right now. I said Sam Darnold. I liked your Jaden Daniels, but he's going to get Rookie of the Year, right? I don't think there's no way a rookie. That'd be a good stack, guys. Is there ever been a rookie?
Yes, one time. You ready?
Yeah.
Jim Brown.
Dad had to tell you that. I bet he did.
He didn't. I think they said it. I think they said it the other night the other day when I was watching the game.
The other guy that I think could make a very good statement towards this is Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
he's playing good football, man.
Derrick Henry.
Ooh, Tyler will not like that. But anyway, Tyler, your point on Jaden Daniels, aka best quarterback of this draft class. He currently has more passing yards than Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and more rushing yards than Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, and Najee Harris.
And Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Sorry. Christian's I think he'll be back by Easter, they said now, right?
Well, I heard he's getting a bilateral leg amputation or transplant.
Yeah. They might have to, just have him just being Kyle Shanahan's ear to not blow a darn lead.
That's one of my highlights I had there is that the Niners can't close out games, dude. And it's year in and year out. And I'm like, it's frustrating as hell to watch.
At least they win games.
not lately.
Actually,
2-3.
We're both 2-3. Yeah.
Mm.
Trey's 3-2.
Yeah.
Look at him gloating over there. He's like biting the side of his mouth.
I didn't say anything.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I didn't say anything.
Crazy that your teams are hot garbage.
So the only thing that my Niners have going for them is the fact that the NFC West sucks, and Rams are 1-4, Cardinals and Niners are both 2-3, and then Seattle's 3-2. And San Fran plays Seattle this Thursday. So
you lost the other 2 already, right?
That's what I just said.
Yeah. Look, Trey's looking.
I was literally just clarifying. That was not.
No. I know you're clarifying. Ass.
Love it.
Whatever.
After I used the cheesehead meme for our
I literally was not being a
two Packers pictures this week.
It's not being a
you
jerk.
Even and not even a little bit of a thank you.
Because I think you're doing it to like reverse jinx me or something.
No, I was trying to be a nice brother.
I picked the Packers as my recipe pick.
Yeah, and hey,
that was a good pick.
Can I bring up one more topic and hear your guys' take on this? But I mean, I'm just an observer. I don't know if I've ever seen a more messed up situation right now than the Cleveland situation. You literally have a coach that you can tell absolutely wants to bench the quarterback, and there's no doubt that he is being threatened that if he does, he's gone.
I bet you wanted Flacco.
Bet you wanted Flacco is right. He has Jameis Winston there, but anybody right now is going to be better than Deshaun Watson. He's got an 8.6 Trey QBR.
It's pretty bad.
And it's the second time he's had a single digit QBR rating this year.
Jesus.
And it's like it makes me sick because this is a team that had the number one defense. They were a wild card team because the Ravens won that division last year. But like, it's sad because like the Browns probably had a little bit of hope with the team last year, and now they look bad.
Yeah, losing Nick Chubb definitely hurts.
Yeah,
I'm
getting back. Go ahead.
I gotta make a statement because I have this game highlighted this week. Is I have Jim Schwartz and the Browns defense against the Eagles. Remember, he was the D coordinator for the Eagles. The Browns will beat the Philadelphia Eagles this week.
Yeah, I actually think that too.
I'm not going to make a prediction about the
you're taking them to
situation.
Cover 8.5, 9.5.
I lost 10.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's like 9.5 points now.
Oh, for sure. I'm taking the Browns as dogs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I agree with that too.
I don't know what the situation the quarterback is going to look like. Maybe he does pull the trigger, and maybe he does throw Jameis Winston in. I don't know if say Deshaun throws a pick on the first thing. But I think that they beat the Eagles not because of their offense, but I think because Jim Schwartz is going to dial up hella good defensive plan against the Eagles and stop them.
Trent, I thought it was funny because when you were talking about this team is a disaster of right now and blah blah blah, I really thought you were going to say the Eagles. So the matchup between these two this week should be interesting to see which one comes out on top, because really whichever team loses, man, I can't wait to see the headlines, and it's going to be bad. And if it's the Eagles, there's no way Nick Sirianni makes it out of the stadium at Philly. So
if the Eagles lose this, he's fired for sure, because
he's got to be
after their bye week.
He has to be. And so AJ Brown, is he just never going to play football again, or what's his deal?
Isn't it like a hamstring or what?
Is it?
I thought he has a hamstring injury. Maybe I'm wrong.
Dude, Trey, come on. Everybody's so delicate. Let's be honest.
That is annoying. Gosh, is that annoying?
It ruins the game.
Yeah.
Like, I understand guys get hurt and guys get injured and stuff, but like, there's nobody that plays through anything anymore.
Yeah. I don't think he likes this situation there.
I don't either.
I think he wants to be out of there. He's buying time, buying his health.
Can I tell you the game? And I know we'll do picks and stuff. One of the games that I am weirdly excited for this weekend is Washington versus Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that game has potential to be super electrifying. I even put down the Maryland
electrifying,
right? Like
DMV. I don't know what that stands for.
What?
All the people refer to it as like the DMV area.
DMV.
Mason Dixon.
I'm pretty sure.
How do you get Mason Dixon out of DMV?
Maybe he's thinking MDL.
No, I'm telling you, dude, they call like the Baltimore Washington area the something Metro. So I don't know. Anyway, we probably. You know what? Hold on. I bet Fast Breaks could answer this.
Yeah, Steve, we'll have to text. I'll text him tomorrow.
Shoot him a message because I'm almost positive, because like Kevin Durant is from there, and he always says about like, hey, you know about talent from
Maryland, DC, Virginia.
Maryland,
DC, Virginia.
but it's not. I don't think it's at MDV. I think it's DMV.
Okay, so DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Yeah.
So you just flip them, Trent.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
figured it out. Look at that.
Oh, you can take one letter and put it for the other one.
I figured it out.
Look at Trey. Okay, Trey.
Yeah.
Good job.
Weird.
Hey, I do.
I'll still text Steve tomorrow and ask him though, just to make sure.
Okay. We got What do we say? But Ty, you're right. That's actually one of my favorite games going into this week. I'm all aboard. The only thing I would make that game better if it was the Redskins versus the Ravens.
Oh
yeah.
I said it. Sorry,
Yikes.
listeners.
Yikes.
And the whole team.
It's going to be the name eventually. It's coming back. It's going to be glorious.
Let me go through the rest of my best bets because I got 4 more and they're all NFL bets.
Yeah, we haven't.
I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys on the Ravens Redskins game. I'm going under 52.5 points.
Ooh, boo!
I know, but I think they're overcompensating the Redskins, and man, I might eat my words because they might put up 40 points again like they've been. But I think that's going to be a much tighter game than 52. Next one is Jags +3. It's really hard for me to take that bet considering how much I hate Doug Peterson.
Why would you take anything from that game?
I just like it. I think
that literally is the definition of hot garbage. Like that's steaming hot garbage.
I don't know. I think 3 points. I think right now
it's terrible.
No, I think 3. They play the Titans, and Titans are coming off a bye, right? Yeah.
Who? Hold on.
I believe so. The Titans, aren't they coming off a bye?
Yeah, but who are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the Bears. They're playing the Bears. Jaguars are playing the Bears.
Yeah.
I think the Bears.
It's like bringing in 5 teams here. We're talking about one game.
Jags, Bears. I'm taking Jags +3. So I already told you Commanders, Ravens. Next one is Colts -1. They are hot right now, and teams are riding them. And 1 point against the Titans is, I think, kind of comical. I think the Titans are a really, really bad football team right now. Last is Bengals -3.5 primetime against the Giants. I know the Giants are coming off a win, and they might be like a favorite little underdog at home bet, but I think the Bengals need to start picking it up if they want to have a chance this season. And I think a primetime game, they're going to try to make a statement. So I like them.
Trent, before you give your picks and stuff, I do want to ask you a question. Who's going to be the damn quarterback for the Raiders? Is it Officer?
AOC.
Is it Officer Farva?
AOC.
Yeah, for cop. Who gives it? Hey, listen. I have this shirt on for a reason because we're down under 30 days. That's a Duke Blue Devil shirt, boys. All right. I'm switching my closet out.
30 days. Is that what it is?
So, dude, it's like 27 days until we have college basketball now.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
Guess it's on its way.
A liter Ricola.
Nope, that's right here.
Your book.
Yep. Blue Ribbon Yearbook. Hot off the press.
Man. Oh boy.
I like it.
It's the Bible.
All right.
Yeah, Tyler, I think you gotta go with Aiden O'Connell.
Okay.
Yeah. I won't say his nickname. Anyway, I like Commanders +6.5. I like Tampa Bay -3.5 versus the Saints. I mean, you got a backup quarterback going in. I'm just saying. I like the Falcons -6 at Carolina. And then I like the Lions. I call this a revenge game. I like the Lions versus the Cowboys -3 for the Lions.
Oh, that awful.
That's stupid. That cheap ass fake call that they freaking made that year after that guy walked up to the official and
receiver.
Yep.
Should I have all of those bets down? I have one a little bit different. I also have Commanders +6.5. I have Bucks -3.5, which if Spencer Rattler's named that starting quarterback, I might change it to Saints money line.
Oh, no. Then I'll take the alternate spread, Bucks -9.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I also have Falcons -6 against Carolina. I have Detroit Lions, but I have money line instead.
Yeah.
But I'm also putting down. I have the Browns at +8.5. I have the Texans -7 against the Patriots because I don't know if anybody else saw the news, but Drake Maye will be starting this week. So they're about to break another quarterback there in New England. So, and I also have Chargers money line against the Broncos. I am not sold on the Broncos. I know that they've now won a couple games in a row. I'm still not sold on them. I think they're fluke wins. Sorry, Trent. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on the Broncos. I think Jim Harbaugh is going to have the boys playing.
Did you guys hold hands while you guys made your bets together?
Yes.
Call him like I see him there.
Interlocked fingers.
Oh man, it's funny. I crack myself up.
I'm glad somebody does for you. Just yourself.
How many more games until Russell Wilson starts, fellas?
He's now practicing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but I don't know, man. I actually think if they do anything, maybe they give him a start or a couple plays just for trade value. Because right now, if I'm the Steelers, I'm not paying anything for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not trade him for some picks in some fashion?
Yeah,
that you're literally just getting free picks.
Because then you're committed to Justin Fields 100%.
You don't think they're committed to him already?
I don't think they are. I think Tomlin is not. The way he talks and answers questions, he's not committal to Justin Fields.
That's just Mike Tomlin's matter of fact.
No, man. He's not when it came to Big Ben. He had Big Ben's back all the time.
A little different. Big Ben gets talked about being like a top guy all time, but
no way.
Brought him 2 Super Bowls.
How can you say no way, Trey?
Top 10 all time?
I wouldn't say top 10. I said a top guy.
Okay.
He's got 2. He's got 2.
He's probably like right under Jimmy G. I'm just kidding.
You know what's funny though is you laughed, however, you said that in all seriousness that one episode.
Statistically, I would. No, I did not. Statistically,
he said Joe Montana, Trey. Sorry, I cracked myself up with that one.
Gosh.
Oh
man.
I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting. There's a lot of headlines and stuff to see what the heck's going to happen here with some of these quarterbacks, some of these teams, some of these injuries. I mean, who's not hurt nowadays?
Right.
I'll be interested to see, is Flacco starting again or is Richardson back? Is Aiden O'Connell going to start for the Raiders to give them a little bit of a different push? Or are they going to stick with the, Gardner Minshew still, who really does not look like the Gardner Minshew last year with the Colts.
Looks horrible.
Yeah.
Is that, and I'm not saying like I like the fact they hired Pierce, but Trent, is that a coaching thing? Like
it's sketchy.
Steichen's an offensive guy. Got Minshew to play. I mean, Pierce is a defensive guy. Like, what the hell's going on? Like, he looks horrible.
They hired an offensive coordinator that was fired from the Chicago Bears.
There you go.
Like what do you thought? It's because that freaking what's his name guy looks Cliff Kingsbury, remember, was gonna be the coordinator and then left. Granted, I'm not gonna lie, even if we had Cliff Kingsbury, we'd still be hot garbage. I mean, holy hell, you got Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell out of Purdue.
Samir White is awful too.
What's that?
Samir White doesn't look good.
He's injured right now. But the only good thing about the Raiders is 2 people, Max Crosby and freaking Brock Bowers. Like 98 and 89, baby. They're mirrored images of each other on either side of the ball. Ooh, I just came up with that right now. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. So I did like little Mad Max calling out McAfee, man. McAfee
he didn't call it McAfee.
Oh, he did a little bit. He said, I got to listen to the guys on the McAfee show.
Yeah, he's talking about. He's talking about. No, he's talking about the guy that used to be the GM for the Raiders and the Niners.
He's related to Lombardi.
Yes, Michael Lombardi. That's who he's calling out because Lombardi went on there and talked about it. That's why.
Yeah, Lombardi wears a hairpiece. Allegedly.
But
sorry.
It wasn't.
Jeez, sorry. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Come on, man.
Yeah.
No, but that's who he's calling out because when I read it initially and what he said, I'm like, oh, wow, like he's going after the guys on McAfee. Then some people clarified, like, oh, here's who was talking about it with the Raiders. And Lombardi does talk about the Raiders and the Niners. I mean, he spent a lot of time with both those teams. So that's who he was talking about. But yeah, and Lombardi's on McAfee a lot. So yeah, interesting stuff. But it is going to be a great rest of the week and then the weekend. I guess we can't say have a great weekend anymore because now we're airing on Wednesdays.
Yeah, have a great hump day.
Yeah.
Happy
humps.
Happy humps. That's right.
Happy humps.
Happy humping.
Whoa. Takes a whole different perspective.
Getting through hump day. It's called humping.
That should be our closeout. Hey,
yeah.
Happy humps.
Happy humping.
Happy humping. I like happy.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Well, so it doesn't.
What? What did Trent say?
Have a hot garbage hump day.
Oh man! All right. Anything else here?
That's all I got, man.
No, boys.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you next week. Same time, same place.
See you, fellas.
We'll keep rolling these out on Wednesdays until Trey's the doctor. So that's where we're going.
Oh. He'll put you to sleep in a different way.
That's right. Happy humping.
All right. Happy humps.
Yep.
See you guys.